There is a very specific kind of fear that hits when a problem seems infinitely larger than your capacity to solve it. It's that quiet, heavy realization that you simply lack the strength, the resources, or the intellect to climb the mountain in front of you. We often treat these overwhelming moments as anomalies, but they are actually the standard curriculum of human existence. Think of them as mandatory exams, tests of endurance and faith that arrive on our desks whether we are prepared for them or not. No one gets to skip the curriculum. It doesn't matter if you are a teacher's child, a political leader, or a regular citizen. The exam papers are handed out to everyone, across all lines of wealth and social standing. These tests arrive in various forms. Sometimes they are biological, like a sudden illness that pulls the floor out from under you. Other times they are deeply personal, people actively working against you, planning your humiliation, or quietly hoping for your failure. When those attacks pile up, they trigger an immediate psychological crisis. You start asking the inevitable question of why this is happening, accompanied by the crushing belief that you lack the intelligence or capability to survive the ordeal. Surrounded by that intense pressure, the default human response is simple: rational fear. We evaluate the odds, we look at our own limitations, and we assume impending, unavoidable defeat. This paralyzing sense of inadequacy is not a modern psychological condition. Thousands of years ago, a man named Jeremiah found himself crushed under the exact same weight. Faced with immense opposition, his immediate confession was one of total weakness. He looked at his circumstances and essentially stated that he was just a child, lacking the power, competence, and intelligence for the fight. The divine response focused on providing an external presence rather than enhancing Jeremiah's own physical or mental abilities. He received an explicit promise that he would not have to face the opposition alone. The text of Jeremiah 1:19 lays out the parameters clearly. It guarantees that the opposition will absolutely attack. The adversaries will plot, and the trials will come. But it guarantees they will fail, specifically because of the divine presence standing with him. This shifts our complete understanding of resilience. In this ancient framework, adversaries remain active, but their efforts result in a total nullification of their goals. The victory is secured from the outside. Of course, this creates a harsh cognitive dissonance. If ultimate victory is assured, the day-to-day experience of faith still involves frequent pain, humiliation, and apparent defeat. The answer lies in the baseline reality established in John 16:33. The text is blunt. In this world, you will have trouble. Severe friction and suffering are the expected norm. This timeline visualizes the experience. You have these sharp, jagged downward spikes. Those are the localized sufferings, the days where it feels like the opposition is winning. But the baseline itself continues steadily upward. Maintaining faith requires the discipline to look past those violent, immediate dips. You are operating within a protective boundary where the final outcome has already been secured. Resilience means recognizing a setback for what it is, a temporary dip in a trajectory that is already arcing toward success. It is the refusal to let localized pain dictate the final story. Once you internalize the mechanics of that victory, it demands a drastic change in human behavior. If you know that an external force has secured your final victory, you no longer need to defend yourself. You are freed from the exhausting, bitter burden of seeking personal revenge. This leads to a highly counterintuitive directive. Instead of fighting back, believers are commanded to forgive their enemies. You are instructed to actively pray for the very people trying to break you. Choosing to forgive is a profound display of spiritual strength. It requires a level of resolve and internal power that simple retaliation can never match. This theology of victory extends far beyond extreme spiritual warfare. It operates as a highly practical shield for everyday human existence. When you are lying in an ICU bed, entirely stripped of your autonomy and control, this divine assurance steps in as a tangible physical comfort. It covers the ordinary milestones just as thoroughly. It provides a protective canopy over the anxiety of starting a new business, the quiet prayer before a long journey, and the daily selfless sacrifices required to sustain a marriage. Maintaining this shield requires a specific human posture. It demands a continuous reverence, an active commitment to carry that divine presence with you through dedicated prayer. By anchoring yourself to that presence, your hope is never wasted. You face the terrifying exams of human existence with an unbreakable, divine courage.